Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video. I am Dua, a consultant clinical psychologist, and as you all know that I always talk about relationships and I've started narcissistic abuse healing series. So I just want to talk about it more. So in today's video we'll talk about how to heal and I'll share some practical techniques that could help you, okay? So if you keep asking yourself, why am I not over this yet? This video is for you. Narcissistic abuse doesn't end when the relationship ends. It ends when your nervous system heals. So, if you have been in a narcissistic relationship, healing does not look like moving on, and it looks confusing, slow, and emotional, and often painful in ways you don't understand. Today, I'm going to tell you to just let go and be positive. This is a clinical guide explaining what actually happened to your brain, your nervous system, and your sense of self, and how real healing occurs. By the end of the video, you will understand why healing feels so hard. Stop blaming yourself. Learn step by step recovery phases. Regain emotional stability, clarity, and self trust. This isn't a motivational talk, it's a psychological repair. So, if you guys haven't subscribed my channel, just go and subscribe it so you guys can get the latest updates about the healing from narcissistic abuse. So, what makes narcissistic abuse different? Narcissistic abuse is not just emotional abuse, it is identity erosion. Unlike overt abuse, narcissistic abuse works through intermittent reinforcement, gaslighting, idealization, and devaluation cycle, and emotional unpredictability. Your brain didn't just experience pain, it experienced confusion paired with attachment. And those people who have already seen my previous videos, they might be familiar with all of these terminologies. Like I have shared it the love bombing phase multiple times. So always remember when someone is in front of you that don't trust them immediately, any person, okay? Always think and feel, are they emotionally available to you? Are they showing support towards you? Is it emotional support? And are they showing respect towards you? And is he or she caring? Because respect and care is where love is. Okay? Where love exists, respect and care would exist. And respect is in every relationship. Okay? And always set your boundaries. And you know, I just want to talk about, this is why survivors often say, I know they were toxic, but I still miss them. I feel addicted. I don't recognize myself anymore. And clinically, this is called trauma bond. Because you have paired attachment. Basically, you love them so much. And please don't look at his or her social media. Don't look at their pictures daily because this will keep going in your brain more and more. The more you will think about them, the more you will get attached towards them. Okay? So, if you keep on thinking about someone whole day, like how pretty he or she is, how supportive he or she is, a time will come when you will be attached towards them. Okay? So, always keep in your mind whenever you are in any relationship. And narcissistic people, they don't care about boundaries, they don't care about the respect, they don't know self esteem, they don't know anything. Okay, they are the selfish people. And one thing that I have noticed is usually, okay, not in every case, but usually and most. Okay, there are two things that I have already shared in a video. You guys can go and check that in my channel. Um, there's a difference between narcissistic personality disorder and narcissistic traits, and it's not necessary that a person who is depicting narcissistic traits will have narcissistic personality disorder. Okay, and I've seen, and they are attention seekers, and then their voices are so loud. They don't speak softly. You know, a normal person who is really empathetic, who is really genuine, he would remain the same in front of you, in front of their subordinate and everyone, okay? But if a person is making a difference, it means that this is not real person. And always, if you want to check someone, please check how he or she behaves in a worse situation, um in aggression, in a situation where they should be very aggressive or things like this. So how they handle these situations, okay? This will tell you that how this this person is, okay? So now what happened to your brain? Let's normalize what you are experiencing. I'm coming back to as a topic today. This is dopamine dysregulation, like what these narcissistic people they basically play with your mind. Love bombing floods dopamine, and devaluation withdraws it, and your brain learned pain and hope is connection. Okay, and this creates addiction like attachment and not love. And nervous system injury is your body state in hypervigilance, freeze, and emotional shutdown. That's why you feel anxious, numb, exhausted, and overthinking everything. And this is not weakness, this is trauma physiology. And then loss of internal trust, and that is gaslighting trains your brain to distrust your memory, your intuition, your emotions. So healing must include rebuilding self-trust, not just understanding narcissism, okay? I'm just teaching you, like creating awareness, because you guys should know and you guys don't fall for the next one, okay? So I wish that you all would get a really genuine person who's really empathetic and who'd care for you. So the 5 phases of healing is phase number 1 is safety and no contact, okay, which is stabilization. Healing cannot begin in chance. This includes physical distance when possible, digital boundaries, like I have said earlier. Don't check their social media, don't check their photos that you have or videos you have in your phone. There are people who, before going to bed and before sleep, they see their ex videos. I mean, the ex boyfriend or girlfriend's videos, and then in the morning, the first thing that they do is again they look back on their image. So this would not let you heal, okay? You have to make an emotional disengagement. No contact is not punishment, it's a neurological detox. A person who is really toxic, who, sorry, who, if no contact is impossible, then grey rock, minimal emotional exposure, and clear boundaries. Okay? Your nervous system needs predictability to heal. So you guys should know that if this person insults me in front of other people, he's not real one. Because they don't care about the image of any other person and all. So you have to then, this phase number 2 is detoxing the trauma bond. You will grieve, the fantasy, the person they pretended to be, the version of you that hoped. These griefs feel withdrawn like. Okay? And the clinical tools are reality anchoring, writing what actually happened, naming the abuse pattern, and education, not obsession. You're not missing them, you're missing regulation they once controlled. Okay? So, one one has gone through all of this phase, it is very difficult for them. If I ask them to recall what has happened in just one session, in two sessions, they can't recall that. Because if the person has opted for the strategy of forget and forgive, it would be really difficult for him or her to recall that all and whatever has happened to him or her. So it takes time, because when you come out of this trauma, so you know you initially you are really in a cloud-like situation, and afterwards you are in that phase like, okay, now they can't do anything to me, and now they're not near me, so yes, I can, this has happened. Now then you can connect the dots, what has happened and all of these things. Okay, so you should check the reality. Okay, with anyone, if you are, always check the reality. Emotional regulation in nervous system healing is the phase number 3, and this phase is critical. Healing narcissistic abuse is body based, it's not just cognitive. Okay, grounding exercises, breathing regulation, somatic awareness, and routine and sleep repair. To this, your boy must learn the threat is over. Until then, your mind will keep searching for danger. I have already shared these techniques with you, okay? And you really need support, and I'll make a complete video on just cognitive, on just these techniques. Okay, so in which, like, we just mentioned there, the process of these techniques. Okay, so that you guys know, like, okay, um you know you guys can apply that. I have already shared this in my previous videos too. If you guys are following that, you guys would be aware about all of these. Okay, otherwise the video would be so long. So, as I've already said, initially it will be very difficult for you to just understand that the threat is over. The first step towards your healing is learn that the threat is over. You are now out of danger, and this relationship has ended. Okay? And now move towards the healing process and realize yourself. Like, take a deep breath. Deep breathing is really, really, really necessary. And exhale through your mouth. Okay? Because the emotional exhaustion that you have in your chest and your body, it's really important for that. Okay, and then phase number 4 is identity reconstruction. This is where survivors get stuck or transform. You must rebuild personal values, boundaries, and self-definition. Always set boundaries whenever you are with anyone. If something is very difficult for you, start saying no. At times there are people, and yes, if you are with someone, please don't open up very quickly. Don't tell them anything about them, because people will just make fun of you. They won't. You'll find rare people who would be very genuine with you, but a lot of people who won't tell you what has happened with you or are their bad experiences. They just keep on listening to what has happened to you and all, and then they would become a threat for you. Okay, because then they would use it to defame you. Then they would use it to sorry, to you know to break you in a way, like this has happened. Like, they would use such words to destroy you. Okay. And then questions to explore are: who was I before this relationship? What did I silence? What matters to me now? And this is where schema therapy, paths work, and self compassion practices are extremely powerful. I'll make a complete video about every therapy and the therapeutic techniques. It would be easy for you to pick those that, because everyone is different. Even in my own therapeutic sessions, choose I basically use eclectic approach, and I choose those technique because everyone's needs and wants are different. So according to the situation of the client, I choose the techniques. It's not like rather than following just one therapy. It's very useful, and it works really well. Okay, and they're extremely powerful. You're not becoming who you were, and you are becoming someone safer for yourself. Okay. And then phase number 5, relational repatterning. This phase prevents repetition, and you learn healthy attachment signals, red flags versus nervous system interaction, and boundaries without guilt. And healing means peace feels familiar again, not boring. You know, you know, there are common healing mistakes that I want to, highlight. Let's address what slows recovery is: trying to get closure from the narcissist, obsessively analyzing their behavior, and rushing forgiveness and dating to prove you are over it, and minimizing what happened. And closure comes from integration, not conversation. Okay, and communication is really, really necessary in any relationship. Communication is a strong tool. What what real healing feels like. Healing doesn't feel euphoric, it feels like emotional neutrality, fewer intrusive thoughts, stronger boundaries, inner calm, self respect without explanation. In one day, you realize, I don't want them back, I want myself back, and that's recovery. So, if you're healing from narcissistic abuse, hear this clearly. You are not weak. You were emotionally open in the presence of manipulation. Your pain makes sense. Your confusion makes sense. Your healing will not be linear but will happen. This experience did not break you, it revealed what must be protected, and with the right understanding, support, and patience, you didn't recover, and you reclaim your life. And if you need therapy, if you need therapeutic sessions and support, I'm 24/7 available for you. Just let me know. And if you guys like today's video, just like, subscribe my channel so you get the latest update and share it with people around you. And don't feel alone. I am with you. Okay? Don't worry about anything. So see you soon in the next video. Till then, take care. Goodbye.